Hello everybody and welcome to Dynamic GT League's Thor series for race 3 from the Fuji short circuit. It's an interesting one, 2.81 miles in length, 14 corners. It's a little bit evil on the tyre wear, and that final sector is oh so tricky with off camber corners that seemingly never end. The rest of the track though rather fast, which can be quite exciting. Something else that's quite exciting is the current championship standings. Demon R leading the way on 40 points, with Jason and Steve F1 both tied in second place on 32 points. SGP in 4th, Artpal in 5th, Jimmy in 6th, Dave the Harp in 6th as well, tied on 17 points. Rich Blues in 8th, Conrad 9th, SRI in 10th, Hay in 11th, Formula Gary in 12th, Bunsel 13th, Twilight 14th, Fluffy and Mitch tied 15th, both unable to race yet. Okay, so the standings definitely mixed around at the moment, so let's have a look at how qualifying has gone for Fuji. Demon R on pole position once again, that's 3 out of 3, and he's just over a tenth ahead of SGP, who'll join him on that front row. In P3 we've got Steve F1, and he'll be lined up alongside Conrad. Fantastically close times up at the front there. In 5th place we've got DGT League SRI, exactly 0.400 off the pole time, with Artpal joining him on row 3. On row 4 in 7th place we've got Dave the Harp, just under a second behind, and he'll be joined by Jason. And I will admit, all of these lap times are great lap times with how close the qualifying has been. Jimmy's going to start in 9th place, and he'll be joined in 10th by Formula Gary. Great qualifying for the both of them. It'll be interesting to see how they get on that run down to turn 1 off the start. Bunsel, he'll start in 11th place, with Rich Blues alongside him in 12th place, in cars that are going to be difficult to miss. In 13th it's Hay, who unfortunately did not set a lap time, and we have got 3 drivers missing. Twilight unable to race, Fluffy and Mitch also still not able to race yet. Okay folks, it's going to be an interesting race. I will remind everybody as well at this moment in time, we do need a co-commentator for next week's race, so get your applications in if you dare. Okay, I think I've waffled enough for the moment, so let's get ready, because you know what's happening. So here we go, let's hand over to the commentators. So here we go then, Fuji Shore, and joining me in the commentary box, it's Raymond. How are you, Ray?
I'm doing very well, how's yourself?
I'm great as 2 lights, 3 lights, 4 lights, 5 lights, come on, and out they go. They weren't on for very long, were they? Oh, so we nearly got a big crash in the back. Oh, wow, well, a quickie right at the start. Oh, SGP's got a decent run on Demon R down into turn 1. Steve F1 having a look there as well as they go side by side through the corner. I think SGP may have just had a little bit of a wobble there. Very easily done through turn 1 here, right?
Oh yeah, definitely. Get on that power too early, and your back end's coming round.
Yep, your back end will be a right mess. Oh, Demon R trying to hold off SGP around the outside, and he's got the inside line now. Steve F1 also having a bit of a look while also going defensive to Conrad.
He went wide?
Yeah, he did, didn't he? He's lost the pace to Conrad and Steve F1.
And he's trying to defend on Conrad. He can't get the move back. Now he'll need to watch with Artpal behind him.
Ah, that he will. For those that don't know, this is the short version. It doesn't have the chicaning just at the store. SGP, I don't know if he was having a cheeky look or not then, but he's lost a lot of time at the back of Conrad now. Just behind Dave the Harp, Jason, and who is that? Hard to tell who was side by side with Jason, but Demon R's opened up a bit of a gap. May already have broken Slipstream, you know.
Yeah, it was SRI beside Jason, and yeah, Demon R. I think he's just outside of Slipstream, but as we see Connor getting the Slipstream into turn 1, can he slow it down?
What a move!
Yeah, and we might see a lot of people going straight on at turn 1 because you forget your braking point one little bit, and you're going
going a long way, that's for certain.
You're going to SpaceX.
Yeah, that's SpaceX, not SpaceX. SGP trying to fend off Art Pal still. I mean, it was a nice overtake by Conrad. I mean, I will say he's going to have to be careful. He doesn't try breaking there that late too many times. The tyres will not like it. I mean, we are red on the indicator for this circuit, but I mean, a 2-stop may be doable. You know, Ray's garage just ran a little bit wide. Yeah, 2-stop may be doable, but only doable if you don't push the tyres. And I'd probably say sort of braking where Conrad did at turn 1 once or twice may be enough to not allow you to do a 2-stop. Yes.
Maladale went a wee bit there. What did?
All right, yeah. Your microphone was a bit weak coming back as well. Don't worry about it, Ray. We've got a bit of action as SRI alongside Jason. But Jason's got the slipstream from Dave the Harp, and here comes Bunsell. SRI pops in for the slipstream again. Here comes Rich Blues up the inside. This could be a tricky one. Jason just managed to stay ahead. SRI trying to hold off from Rich Blues. Oh, Bunsell around she blows. Collects hay as well. I don't think either of them could do that.
Well, no, Bunsell, you're not supposed to collect the hay when you're not at work.
Yeah, exactly. You're not farming now, mate. Art Pal's still right behind SGP, and still a battle going on behind Jason with SRI, and I think he might be Jimmy now. Art Pal's got a run here, has he? He seems to be quicker than SGP at the moment.
It's SGP looking after his tyres in the first stint.
Maybe. On the pack cam, SRI getting really close. So is Jimmy. Jimmy's wedged himself between them, and Dave the Arp's now all over the back of Art Pal. So Art Pal's lost a bit of time in this final sector. It's very easy to do around here. Get slightly offline in one of those corners, you're going to be screwed for the next 3.
Yeah, because you get onto the marbles and the dirt, and you just end up understeering.
Absolutely, this could get rather interesting down at turn 1. Dave the Arp trying to make the move. Oh, Jimmy just took a bit of evasive, I think, there from behind Art Pal, as Rich Blues, I think, has just made the overtake on Jason. He has, nicely done by Rich. Dave got the move done, as the pack is very, very close here. Oh, Jimmy ran a little bit wide. He's running wide again. I think your mic might keep keeps cutting in and out.
Is it?
Yeah, either that or you're really quiet today.
When am I ever quiet?
Well, exactly. Okay, still a lot going on here. So Dave the Harp, I was going to say cork in the bottle, but he's not really, because he's only recently got there as Jimmy got a little bit wide. Jimmy's wide again. Jimmy's going to struggle for grip through these next few corners if you look on the pack cam, as Rich Blues trying to go around the outside, but I don't think you want to go around the outside, Rich, because Jimmy ain't got no grip round there.
Yeah, that's one of the... It's like doing a Twilight move, isn't it? Where did they do it? Barcelona? Try to go around the outside.
I'm trying to... You're pushing me memory now. I can't remember. Art Pal...
a couple... not Art Pal, Twilight.
I know, I was about to say Art Pal making the move on Dave the Arp. See, I'm more focused on what's happening on the track, Ray, rather than trying to make a joke. Well, wait a bit. Okay, so what have we got going on up at the front? Demon R still leading. Conrad in second. Steve F1 in third. SGP in fourth. Art Pal fifth. Dave the Harp sixth. Dropped back a bit from Art Pal as Dave. Jimmy, though. Jimmy seems to have some decent pace around here, Ray. Seems to be struggling a bit with track limits, but seems to have pace.
Yeah, he's catching up on the back of Dave the Harp there as we see SGP going a bit wide.
Yeah, you've got to be so careful doing that, because when you do, you end up going wide here as well. You've got no grip in the tyres. Sorry to cut you off there, carry on.
That's what I was going to say. The dirty tyres are going to make it evil round here.
Absolutely.
The last sector. He's right again.
Yeah. Oh, good.
Don't spin it.
Ooh.
don't think there was much Art Pal could do there.
No, maybe that's going to need to be a G-spot moment to see if it was an unsafe return to track. Arpal into the pits, as was somebody else there. I didn't see SGP. Conrod's gone deep at turn 1. Big time deep. That's just let Steve F1 through. I'm wondering, whether Conrad has been trying to brake at that late point a few times and perhaps hasn't worked, although I am hearing, no, he's been trying to save his tyres. So maybe Gary got a run here on Jimmy, but is he going to have a tight line? Yes, he is. Is he going to run wide? No, he's not. Well done. Nice driving.
Well, yeah, that was fantastic overtake. As they still go side by side. I was waiting to see somebody getting pushed out right. SRI and Hay, is that in the background having a battle?
Yep. Yeah.
Gary, he's going to have to defend from SRI now.
That he is. That's one of the... Oh, SRI up the inside. Oh, he's tried it, but has he just punted Gary wide? I don't know. He might have done. Has he slowed down? I think you know what? I think he must have done. Otherwise, he'd have been up the road by now. Gary's struggling a bit with the dirty tyres, having gone wide. SRI making a move. Nice overtake round the outside. That's one way of doing it, isn't it? BTCC pumped him off at one corner, wait for him, overtake on the next corner when they got no grip. Rich Blues making a move. Nice overtake there from Rich.
Yeah, fantastic overtake. Now he just gave Gary the slipstream. Yep. As long as Rich has got the slipstream from SRI, Gary shouldn't really get ahead, and so he's had to tuck back in.
Absolutely. Gary doesn't like tucking back in. Okay, so Rich managed just to hold
the weekends.
Yeah. I think Jason must have pitted, I think he pitted a few minutes ago because he's now on the back of these guys with, I think, much fresher tyres. Oh, God knows what strategy Jason's going for then. If he's gone for the early pit stop. Gary trying to make the move on Rich Blues. Rich Blues going for the switch back. Jason hasn't really got anywhere to go. Lovely bit of driving there, I've got to say.
Yep. As we see SRI chasing down Dave the Harp. SRI. Oh, that was close.
Rich. That it was.
Rich is away.
SRI was also pitted, by the way, because look at his tyres, they're fairly fresh. Demon R is making his way down the start-finish. So, yeah, SRI could potentially make a move here on Dave. Dave has not pitted yet, so we'll be struggling on his tyres, and that's why SRI's got the grip up the inside and then the outside. Demon R into the pits. He's not wanting to get undercut, is he?
It doesn't, because the undercut here with the boost and the slipstream is pretty big. Absolutely.
Okay, so what we got? Art Pal and SGP and Jason all pitted recently. Demon R coming out of the pits, so he has lost a few places, but whether these guys can make their strategy work for them, I do not know. SGP side by side with Gary gets that place seized. Either that or manages to keep hold of it. I'm not sure if he's making... I think SGP must have been making the move because Gary was battling with someone else a moment ago, I believe, unless my memory is eluding me, which is definitely possible.
It was with SRI, but that was a lap or two ago.
Yeah, absolutely.
I don't know if there was somebody else. We must be getting to that old age phase.
Definitely. Well, I've been out in the sun and the rain today, so yeah, my brain's fried. Our pal's gone a little bit deep there. That'll compromise him. Needs to make sure he doesn't run deep here. He's gone defensive. That's going to send him a little bit wide on the exit of the corner. SGP doing a switch back here, but it's actually to do a switch back in the final corner. Watch this. Going to tuck back up the inside, is he? No, he's going to run wide.
Got it.
Oh, yeah.
Background.
Gary's off. SGP did get the overtake done, but went round the outside. And here now comes Demon R after making his pit stop. And to be honest, Demon R could really do with making overtakes as quick as possible because the cars in front of him have got fairly fresh tyres. There he goes up the inside. Gary into the pits.
Three white. Oh, I'll just remember those three.
Yep. Oh, SGP!
Oh, it be.
SGP just peed his pants. Doo-dah. Oh, God. For some reason now, all I can think of is... He's a cucumber. He's a
Who's
cucumber.
it? She likes whips and chains. Load it up, doing a nice switchback on here. Is he going to go round outside? I think he's got fresher tyres. He's got fresh tyres as well.
Absolutely, but yeah, maybe Dave just a bit more confident with his car there. Let's see what else we've got going on at the moment. So Steve F1 and Conrad have...
Oh, Jimmy, where did he come from? Right round the outside of here.
Jimmy came from Cucumber. So Jason here then with a bit of a run on SRI, but Demon R closing in on the back of Jason as well. SRI trying to break the slipstream. Conrad and weaving on a pit straight. I don't know when I'll be back again. Jason making the move, and I think in Easter as well with Demon R closing in. Conrad did pit, by the way. Have you noticed how many times I said by the way yet? I bet you forgot what I told you about by the way last week, hadn't you?
Yeah, what did you tell me, by the way?
It doesn't matter, by the way. So don't worry about Demon R having a look up the inside of SRI. Side by side they go. It's a little cheeky. Go on.
Just seen SRI's backside getting slight skitterish.
Slippery. Back up the inside he's going. I was going to say his tyres are looking a little bit worn, but he had the confidence to have a look there. Demon R having a look now. This is going to be costing these two quite a bit of time, but it's a great battle to see. I don't know if you really want to be on the inside line here, but then again, if you're on the outside, you could end up getting squeezed out wide, but Demon R is through. But he's just gone and given SRI the slipstream. Is Jimmy making a move on Bunsell? Steve F1, is he pitting? No, he's not.
Ooh, he's still going now.
Yeah. He's not weaving on a pit straight. I don't know when I'll get slipstream again. Art Powell got a run on SRI. Demon R's got defensive. Go on.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say, but you jumped in there.
All right, I like jump. Yeah. SRI was all kind of sideways then. We mentioned it on last week's video, the difficulty of the exit of turn one, and we will see cars sideways there. Side by side, SRI and Art Powell go through the long right-hander. Oh, what a lovely bit of driving. Oh, Jimmy a Bunsell out wide. Jimmy was all out.
Not here? No, it's Bunsell, sorry.
Yeah. I think Bunsell nearly spun it as well. You know, if you stand corrected, does that mean you stand up and adjust yourself to the other side? Okay, up the inside. No, this is SGP trying to make the move on SRI here. Side by side they go. SGP makes the move. SRI a little bit wide. I think he may have been helped a little bit wide because SGP just let everybody through. And he's off the track. Steve F1 in the pits.
Is this his first pit stop? What, 11 laps? Can't be right.
It is. It's his first pit stop. Well, the thing is, you look at it, it's 15 minutes into the race. That's a good stint, but he's going to come out near enough plumb last. Oh, Jimmy, you can't move across. Rich is there. Okay, you can move across. It makes the move on SRI by the looks of things. Conrad has managed to get to the head of this pack. So Steve F1 is in second to last place at the moment. Let's see, Demon R's leading the race. So two different strategies going on between Demon R, Jason. 4 different strategies going on between Demon R, Jason, Conrad and Steve F1. And Art Powell's got himself into the mix a little bit as well. As soon as that ran wide, it was Rich. Big sideways. That's not his new nickname, it's just what he did.
Here comes Conrad on the back of Art Powell.
Here's a cute Conrad.
What?
Sorry, I've definitely been in the sun too. I was thinking like here's Cucumber, but incorporated Conrad into it, and it ended up being here's a Cucumber Conrad. Oh dear, I should be drinking more alcohol than just spending time in the sun.
A pack cam, we can see Gary on the. Oh, we can see it now. Yep. Gary on the back of SRI.
He's
I think SRI was wanting the pits at this time when Gary blocked.
Well, that's a nice move by Gary if that is the case, because Jimmy trying to have a look around the outside. Jason has pitted, by the way. Oh, Rich, that was risky, but it worked. But Steve F1 has managed to stay ahead and make the move on Gary, because Gary's gone deep. Oh dear, so Rich and Jimmy both lost out there massively.
We've got Jimmy on the back of Rich. Rich overtaking SRI. I think SRI needs to pit.
I think you might be right. I think he's been on those tyres for quite some time. Rich Blues having a look up the inside. I think, gives a near, because Dave the Arp, who I think must have pitted again recently. So yeah, it's all kicking off once again, which is no surprise really. Rich giving Jimmy a little bit of a tag. I think Jimmy tagged the back of Dave the Harp, and Rich did as well, which may have put Dave into the back of SRI. It does look like SRI struggling on his tyres here. Dave's are almost brand new, so SRI may be a bit of a sitting duck.
Yeah, we're not seeing Dave the Harp pulling it out from the corners. Must be looking after these tyres. As we see, Art Pals are going to pit.
Looks like SGP's in the wall.
Just after the last corner. He's not liking that last corner, is he?
No, definitely not. So Art Pal is in the pit, so is SGP. I mean, it is easy to spin at the final corner, but I mean, he's ran wide a couple of times and he's had a spin. So let's have a look at Demon R then. His tyres, how are they doing? They're absolutely fine, considering if he's on a 3-stop, he's only got a couple more minutes to go. Jason having recently pitted, I genuinely don't know what Jason's strategy is. Jimmy. Nice move by Jason. I think Rich may be struggling as well a little bit on his tyres at the moment. But maybe Jason's strategy is to be on fresh tyres when others are on old tyres.
Could work. But he'll need to get it spot on for the last stint.
Absolutely. Jimmy, have a look at Rich. Excuse me, a bit windy today.
A bit windy today?
Yeah.
Because I burped.
Yeah, what? Because I burped.
I burped as well.
Did you? All right. Oh, burp friends.
As you see Jimmy on the back of Rich, he's going to get slipstream. Is he going to be able to do anything, or is Rich going for the pits?
He's done with the pit lane, hasn't he?
Yeah.
It is a common thing around here, interestingly, to sort of dummy going for the pits. See David Harp's catching up to Formula. Gary is hit the back of Formula Gary. I think he's gone a little bit late on the brakes there, did Dave? Oh, Gary's now big sideways. Dave's still waiting for him by the looks of it. Is he? He is. He's let SGP through. Fair play to Dave there. I mean, he tagged the back of Gary on the way in. Some may say, Gary spun it on the curb. Yeah, he probably wouldn't have been on the curb had Dave not given him a bit of a tap. So fair play to Dave. SGP closing in on the back of Rich Blues. We saw Rich kind of dummy into the pits. I think we may see him in the pits fairly soon. But given that we're now 20 minutes into this race, Ray, for the 3-stoppers, they've got to be doing their second stop anytime now, haven't they?
Yeah, and I don't think SGP's putting anytime soon, so he's on a different strategy after these couple of spins.
Either that he is. Rich Blues trying to fend off Art. Oh, Jimmy! Big sideways from Jimmy, and it's so easy to do. Demon Art into the pits for his second pit stop. So Conrad now leading the race as Hayes all over the back of Art Pal all over Rich. I think Hay may be giving Art Pal a bit of a bump draft here. Yes, he is. And Jimmy and Rich both into the pits.
Yeah, Jimmy and Rich into the pits. I just seen that.
Is Hay going to pull out of the back of Art Pal? No, not really going for it. Bump draft. Here comes Demon R, though, out of the pit exit. Holds that tight line. Hay's gone deep. He's gone wide. He looked like he was being so cautious into one, and it's not really worked out for him. As Steve F1 now closes in on
SRI take him out evasive, so I don't know if there was a little bit of contact.
Look at Steve F1's tyres here. They're in pretty good condition because he only pitted 6 minutes ago. Oh, they might not be now. There's a track over there. Oh. So I'm
Yeah,
trying
I
to...
wonder how Conrad be, because he pitted before Steve F1, didn't he?
He did, yeah. I think he pitted after about 12 minutes, so potentially could see him in the pits in the next couple of minutes. But, I mean, let's think, if Steve F1's going on a two-stop strategy, he's going to be wanting to get to about, minute 26, minute 27. DiManardo, having come out of the pits, is now in 5th place right behind SGP. And you see, this is where it's going to be interesting to see if the 2 or 3 stop is the strategy that'll work. DiManardo passing SGP by the pit entry. Only time to do that is during a league race. Otherwise, SGP will put you in the pits.
Ooh, SRI jumping out the way of that pal.
Aye, that he was. SGP. He got he was on that curve, wasn't he? And we know what can happen. So Art Pal has been passed by SRI. Oh, Art Pal's very quick through that corner there. And I think SRI is trying to make a move on SGP. Steve F1 still right behind Conrad. As SRI still... Oh, no, he's not right behind.
Right.
Yep, he's going to say he's right behind SGP. He's not. He's past him. Steve F1, sorry I can't get my words out, is right up Conrad's gearbox. So I would guess that this may be Conrad getting ready to pit in a moment, or Steve F1 getting ready to pounce and make the move.
Yeah, I think he's taking that tighter line. Is he going to...
What?
Conrad going for the pits, that's what I was wanting to see, but he's not. Steve F1 tucked in right till the last minute, and here we go down into turn 1. Is Conrad going to go late braking and try and keep it round the outside, or is he going to just let Steve F1 get past and then just follow him and save a bit of tyre?
I think Conrad's thinking a little bit more about the long game here, which is really good to see. Oh wow, Bunsell on the back of Artpal. I think Artpal got very lucky there that the contact from Bunsell didn't affect him too much. He pretty much violated him there. But I think with Conrad, seeing him take active steps of sort of thinking more about making his tyres last rather than outright lap time, well, I know it'll benefit him more in the long run as Steve F1 dips another wheel out wide. Want to be careful of that, as we've said.
I think Steve F1's pushing for the next couple of laps because we're at the 24th minute. You say 26th minute?
Yeah, I think 26 minutes, something like that. Well, I mean, this is a very interesting scenario as well because, I mean, when is Conrad going to pit and can he get to the end? When is DiManardo going to pit? Well, I wouldn't expect him to pit until there's like 10 minutes to go. Is that Jimmy and Art Powell side by side? Yes, it is, near enough. A lovely camera angle here. Dave the Harp catching up to the back of Rich and Gary Conrad into the pits. So, you may be right.
Tyres must have been going a wee bit, and I think Steve F1's pushing the now to try and get a gap to DiManardo as much as possible.
Not only that, he'll be aware that Conrad's going to get an undercut on him. Art Powell having a look up the inside of Jimmy, can't quite get it done. Oh, Jimmy gets sideways on the exit curb. Very easily to do that. He still got the inside line for the left-hander here. This will compromise both their speed, and here comes Bunsell. Excuse me, coughing.
So see, is that SGP on the back of somebody? SGP going for a move on Bunsell. Although these corners don't have no names, we need to make some names up.
Maybe eventually. I'm surprised that SGP was going for an overtake there. His tyres are knackered, or at least his rear left is. But yeah, so with this is quite
how did that not reset him?
He's been very lucky there. So yes, SGP trying to make moves on Dave, but I think Dave's got fairly fresh tyres on at the moment, but he is being harassed. Oh, SGP's off wide, and here comes Conrad through, and Rich Blues through. Gary may even come through as well. So DiManardo now making a move on Jason down the main straight. So that's DiManardo into second place. Art Powell, it's Conrad, sorry, making the move on Dave the Hart.
Try to come back, but he couldn't do it. As we've seen, Conrad trying to take, he was taking the move on Dave the Harp, which I don't know what happened there, because Dave the Harp's further down. Oh, well, the timing screen's sorting itself out there now.
It is,
So
yeah.
Conrad, but at that last corner, got a couple of free overtakes, so that'll play into the hands for him against this battle with Steve F1.
Absolutely. And the interesting thing now, up at the front as Conrad is now closing in towards Artpal. Artpal's all over the back of Jimmy, who's running in 4th place at the moment. So this Conrad's going to get a good undercut here. Question is, can he get to the end? I don't think he can. Demonardo's all over the back of Steve F1, but we're expecting Steve F1. It's the 27th minute, so I'd expect Steve F1 in any moment, and I'd expect Demonar. Is he trying to get up the inside? Oh, I think he may have actually been trying to prevent Steve F1 from pitting, and they both go into the pits. Ooh, and Jason in as well from 3rd.
There's going to be a three-way battle for 2nd, 3rd. Well, going to be 4th because Conrad. Don't forget about Conrad.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, Jimmy is now leading the race down into turn 1. Got Conrad closing in on him as the whole pack comes through, and those guys that just pitted are only just coming out of the pits now. They're actually inside each other. Demon are up the inside of Steve F1 into turn 1. So manages to oh no, he hasn't made the move. Conrad's still... no, Conrad's made the move on Jimmy. Sorry, I missed that.
Yeah. So, who got the unsafe release from their pits? Steve F1 or Demon R?
Oh, that's a good question. Well, it looks like the pack cam's riding on board with Demon R at the moment. As those two are going to be trying to work their way back through the traffic. Interesting thing there, though, Ray, is Dave is closing in on the back of Rich, and Dave is going to have to pit again. No, it's not Rich, sorry, it's Artpal. Yeah. For Steve F1 and Demon R and Jason, yes, they need to get through this traffic, but if they kill their tyres doing it, they won't get to the end. Oh, bit of a switchback going on back there.
Dave the Harp a wee bit wide and then cutting back in.
Aye.
As we see Gary, Rich, Steve F1, SRI, Demon R,
Jason.
and here.
The thing is, this is all good for Conrad at the moment.
2 wide, still 2 wide. When we're going 3 wide, 4 wide.
Well,
let's wait for it.
It might still happen.
Steve
Steve
F1 up the inside. Oh, a wee bit of contact with Rich, but nothing too serious.
Breathe in, boys. They're still 3 wide, just behind there. Jason hasn't really got anywhere. Oh, Gary moved back to the racing line. Managed to had the space to do it just. But this has worked out nicely for Steve F1. He's got through the traffic. Demon R hasn't. So yes, Steve F1 is all over the back of Dave the Harp now. No, he's not. He's already making the move past Dave the Harp. But as I said, I think Dave the Harp's going to have another pit stop to make. Demon R trying to make his way past Rich Blues. So Steve F1 is through. But yeah, this is all going to play into the hands of Conrad, who is now leading the race. As Jason trying to follow those other 2 through, but can't quite do it at the moment. Oh, Gary!
Contact from Gary, but I think they're still going the rightful way. As we see Demon R still try to get past Dave the Harp as he's got him.
Yeah.
But then he's going to give the slipstream. Has he got much slipstream coming from Artpal? I think he's... It's very close, isn't it?
It is. Jimmy pits from 2nd place, by the way. Dave the Harp, he's going for the move. Artpal giving Steve F1 a bit of a bump draft. Is he going to go for the move? No. I think he was just giving himself a clear line of sight into the first corner. Demon R has managed to just fend off Dave the Harp, and yeah, it probably needed to because it's chaos behind them.
Seems a wee bit boxed in here with Gary was on his left-hand side there, but he managed to get through that corner nicely. As we see 3 wide coming into turn 6.
Yep, this is actually one of the few racetracks where you can go, he'll be coming round the mountain when he comes. Because there's a mountain, Mount Fuji. Oh, Jason! That's a risky one! I think that may have just ended up in a bit of contact, putting Dave off as well. I mean, I only had a view from behind. I know Dave has always, well, Dave has always said that he wants to get touched up by a Swedish blonde.
Oh, he spun it. Dave spun it in the back.
He has. Oh, just as I was about to make a joke about being touched up by a Swedish blonde, but he wanted it to be a woman, not a man. So Gary now on the back of SRI.
Is SRI going for the pit chute? And then Arpal, Gary, Rich, Hay. There's a lot of pitters, so if Conrad's going to pit again,
well, you know what?
He will get the boost.
He will.
Because they've already pit.
Yeah, I think he definitely needs to pit again. But something interesting is happening here, which is Steve F1 is now in second place. He's got Demon R right behind him. Jason's now in fourth. We know those three all pitted at the same time. Conrad needs to kind of open as big a gap as he can now, but I think if I was Conrad, if you're going to have to pit again, do it now, mate, because a load of cars, I think, have just gone in the pits, haven't they? The field is spread a bit, so now would be the time to take that pit lane loss and also give yourself as much time as possible to work your way through. And this is what I was on about. Hey, Steve F1's roll loop is red.
Oh, he's and a quarter less of boost then.
Yeah, less than a quarter remaining. Demon R's is still green. So as they come round the final corner, Conrad, is he going to pit? I do not know yet. Yes, he is. He's in the pits. I think that's the right call for Conrad. Oh, Steve F1 going defensive, weaving a little bit. Well, not weaving, trying to break the slipstream. Demon R up the inside though. May have used a bit of boost there, not sure. Hard on the brakes. Hold on. Can he hold on to it on the outside? Yes, he can.
Nice move. We're going to see Steve F1 coming back. And then Demon R does have that boost to defend, help him defend in certain corners.
Absolutely. Conrad has come out of the pits in 6th place with nobody really challenging him from behind. That's good. He's got Jimmy ahead of him though. Jimmy pitted a couple of minutes ago. Don't know when SGP last pitted. But yeah, so Conrad's got a decent opportunity here. The question now would be, how are these guys' tyres going to hold up? I'd say looking at the amount of wear that Demon R's got at the moment, it should be okay. SRI's recently pitted. He's got fairly fresh tyres on. Also saying personal best. Purple sector out. Wide he goes. Got to be careful in the next corner now.
Yeah, he just survives it. But wait till the next corner and then it'll be up. Okay.
Quite possibly. Okay, so has Conrad caught up to Jimmy? He's definitely closed their gap. I mean, obviously, he's not going to get as much boost as he would as if he'd come out in last place. I think the leader's just had a bit of a weave, you know.
Yeah, he's weaving.
Whoa, yeah, he's definitely weaving. Weaving down the pit straight.
I think that was borderline there at the breaking point.
I would have to have another look at it, I would guess. But he's managed to hold on to the position for the moment. That has allowed Artpal and SRI to close in, and I do believe Artpal and SRI both on fairly fresh tyres. Conrad is not going to want this. This could compromise his opportunity of winning the race, because he's definitely got a chance, I think.
Yeah, he's wanting to get past Jimmy as soon as possible, because this is just holding him up and bringing. Look, is that Dave the Harp coming in? No, it's not Dave the Harp. Who's that?
It's Gary.
Gary joining the train as well, and I think he's all pitted at this a lap just before Conrad.
Yeah, I think you're absolutely right. Or Gary on a bit of a look up the inside, maybe on SRI there. Jimmy's run a little bit wide. Conrad needs to get the move done now, doesn't he? He's got no boost left either. And Jimmy's still sort of perhaps weaving a little bit too much here. I would say, yeah, I mean, you don't really want to be weaving when a car is sort of within a second of you, really. He's going to be on the inside now. Is Jimmy Arpal. Arpal tags the back of Conrad. Oh, so Conrad had the move done. Arpal tagged the back of him. Conrad's got it all to do again. Down into 2. He needs to throw this up the inside here and be brave. And he is. He's done it. Jimmy's ran wide.
It's going to put Gary and Jimmy out of shape.
Yep.
You've got to watch when they come back on. Oh.
Yeah, bit sketchy that. Although, I mean, what I will say is when you've been out wide there and you come back on the track, it's not easy to get the car slowed down with dirt on the tyres and the dirty part of the track. Gary and Jimmy now side by side through the kink. It's not really a kink, it's a 90-degree right-hander. Dave the Arp is there as well. As we look on the pack cam. He's managed to open up a bit of a lead on Steve F1 as Demon R. So what have we got going on here? Gary and Jimmy still side by side. There's only 3 minutes left of this race, and I still don't know what's going to happen in these last few minutes.
Jimmy and Hay, they were tangled up. I think they were trying to do the tango together.
Hey, it's Jason that's the Swedish blonde, not Jimmy. That's all right, closing in on the back of Arpo. Got a brilliant run here. Is he going to pull out to Conrod's slipstream? He's going to try. He's going to be late on the brakes. He's going to try. Got to make sure he doesn't get on that curb on the exit, because if you do, he's going to slide. And he now needs to try and hang it in there for turn 2. Can't quite do it.
Yeah, I don't think he was brave enough to go side by side there.
Jimmy,
because you get it wrong, you're going to push that other car so wide.
Absolutely, yeah. Conrad all over the back of SGP, all up alongside SGP. No, all over the back of SGP. Conrad with much fresher tyres than SGP. Now having a look.
The front of SGP.
Yep. All over in ahead of him. Now up to 4th place for Conrad. It just goes to show, though, those couple of laps behind Jimmy have cost Conrad so much time, because I think without that, I think had he been able to get past Jimmy, I think he'd have been up by Jason by now. Gary trying to hold on around the outside of SRI, as Jimmy and Dave also getting in on that fight.
What, Jimmy?
Jimmy's not getting in on that fight.
SRI big tank slapper.
Aye, that it was. Okay, so SGP's got slipstream from Conrad. Conrad's got fresh tyres though. Artpal's got slipstream on SGP. How long we got left? 1:20 to go. Oh, this could be touch and go as to whether driver's going to get one more lap or two here. Artpal up the inside of SGP. SGP was a little too late to try and defend that. Dave the Arp up the inside of SRI. Has he managed to get that move done? Yes, he has. I think SGP's about to plummet here, you know, if he's not careful.
Yeah, and SRI's plummeting, never mind SGP.
Good point, yes.
Because it was on the back of Artpal. Was it 2 or 3 cars, 4 cars back now?
Yeah. Gary's made a move. Oh, Bunsell nearly saw SRI facing the wrong direction. Dave the Arp trying to make the move on SGP around the outside. Can't quite get that to work. Look at the pack camera. Demon R has got Steve F1 close right back onto him. Gary's gone deep. So has Bunsell. That's going to cost them loads of time. I'm wondering if these guys are going to get an extra lap or not.
SRI's off the track.
That he is. Dave the Arp's made the move on SGP. Just. Gary and Rich side by side. Oh, no. The leaders crossing the line now. They'll get the extra lap. And here they are on the screen. I don't think the pack will. It's going to be close. Looking at the pack cam, as Demon R makes defending from Steve F1. SGP on the pack cam. I don't think he's going to make the extra lap. No, he's not. So that's the finishing position for those 7 cars.
Look how close that was.
I'm not surprised the cameraman didn't know what to look at there. So Steve F1, he attempted the move down into turn 1. I'm wondering if Demon R used a bit of his boost to defend that Ray with Steve F1. Has he got any left? No, he's great. He's got no boost left. Jason, where's Jason? Jason's closing in on the pair of these, but there's only what? There's only the final sector to go. Look at Demon R's tyres as well. They're knackered.
Oh, so they are. Oh, Steve F1's win.
Oh, that's going to be trouble for Steve F1. Can he get it slowed down? It's sideways. Oh, I think they may have just given Demon R the breather that he needed with his knackered tyres. 2 corners to go for him.
Look at that, Jason, right on the back of Steve F1.
Ah, that he is. Is he going to be able to do anything about Steve? He's going for it on the inside into the final corner. What a move. Steve F1's tyres are knackered as well. Jason, what a move on the final corner.
Will we see Jason's tyres quickly before?
Maybe.
Oh, he's got fresher tyres than
much fresher. Conrad's going to finish in 4th. Artpal 5th. But yeah, Conrad, what a result for him, finishing in 4th place. Art Pal got the extra lap. He's got plenty of life in his tyres as well. So it's going to be 5th place for him. Demon R taking the victory. I mean, it was so close as well. Steve F1 was giving it his all on that last lap. And well done, Art Pal. And unfortunately for Steve F1, instead of him sort of stealing the victory, he's ended up having 2nd place stolen off him. Jason doing what Jason does. Patient. I mean, he pitted at the same time as Demon R and Steve F1, and he probably had double the tyre life left at the end.
Yeah, but we know the Swede is good on his tyres, and we always know in the second half of the race, his pace picks up. So, yeah, great racing.
Yeah, I'll be honest, I think great racing all around there, to be honest. Once again, many different strategies. I mean, up at the front, there was a 2-stop, a 3-stop, a 4-stop, I think.
And then we had Conrad with he was trying to make the gap to try and get a pit stop to make him in contention, but Jimmy held him up a wee bit, didn't he?
Absolutely. I mean, what I would say is, I wouldn't say I saw Jimmy doing anything wrong in the corners. Weaving, I mean, obviously it's something that we talked about on last week's G-Spot. It may be something we have to have
mess it up.
Maybe. Well, I mean, for all we know, Jimmy might not have watched the G-Spot. If he hasn't, let us know. What may be worth us doing though is if it I mean, it would be interesting to have a look to see whether in a commentator's view, perhaps a car was too close to Jimmy for Jimmy to be able to weave. But the only way to know for certain would be to really have a look at it.
Yeah, it was from the commentators as what we're doing. It looked pretty close, so yeah, it might be nice to see it.
Absolutely.
More depth.
Yep. I mean, I'm not saying I'm picking on Jimmy here at all. It's just with us having talked about it on last week's G-Spot, and obviously we talked about a scenario where people were doing the right things. I mean, this may be a situation where when we look at it, nothing wrong has happened at all. But it could also be a slightly different situation where maybe we think, actually, yeah, I mean, it's the kind of thing, though, that's very difficult to put a set distance from the car behind of how much you can move. But I think if they're in your slipstream and they're gaining on you, yeah, that's where I think I'd be thinking, yeah, probably shouldn't be weaving. So, but it's one of those things, it's difficult to put a fine line and say, right, this is the line that you work to. I mean,
and also, it might be his first time doing the weaving, and with the car, we know how quickly responsive they are to little inputs. He just went, whoa, this is a lot here.
Yeah, quite possibly, yeah. That's the thing, at the moment, we just don't know. It looked like a brilliant battle in the pack again. I mean, that finish, holy cow. I don't know if it was 7 or 8 cars there that crossed the line all within like half a second of each other. But yeah, that was mighty close right at the end, which is brilliant to see. I wouldn't be surprised if, I mean, we didn't really get to see it in its entirety because there was the battle for the lead going on at the same time. But go on.
On the timing screen, it's saying there was 8 that was a lap down, but I don't know how close it was.
Yes, that is true. Yeah, because they were. I mean, in a way, I don't really like saying that they were a lap down. Although technically, yes, they were a lap down. They just didn't get. I prefer to say they didn't get the extra lap. But yeah, because of that, we didn't get a time of what the gaps was between them. But yeah, I mean, it was really, really close. And that, I mean, it's one of those things. I mean, we've been in this situation before where you can have a battle for 40 minutes and it comes down to that last drag race out of the final corner. And it's a good buzz when it's like that. And it's really exciting to see. We've had an interesting race here, though, where there's been periods of everybody being spread out a bit, and then periods of everybody being right on top of each other. But that's what's going to happen when you've got multiple different strategies, people kind of to their tyres or not kind of the tyres. And yeah, I think, to be fair, I think the drivers have coped really, really well around a track where, you know what, in the past, I would say that we have potentially seen a lot of risky overtakes into sort of the final three corners. But I don't think I could say that from what I've seen from today's footage. I don't think we've seen anybody going for risky moves up the inside in those final few corners. It's tended to be when a car is already side by side or someone's got their braking point wrong rather than going for the overtake. And that, for me, it just shows, again, the level of progression that all the drivers are showing. It really is good to see, because what it creates is, I think, much better race. I mean, don't get me wrong, I love seeing cars side by side through those corners. Don't have a problem with that, as long as it's not from a very risky attempt at an overtake that basically loses you a load of time, loses the other person a load of time. Someone else comes along and goes, "Thank you very much." But yeah,
and especially with it, what I've just checked the footage again. 8 cars within a second now. The second is fast in these cars. So 8 cars round the last few corners, and I don't think there was much contact or anything. Any contact. That is an achievement.
Absolutely. Really is really good to see. But also, I mean, very good to see the battle for the win going down to the final lap as well. I mean, there's so many positives out of that race, and hopefully the drivers thoroughly enjoyed it regardless of where they finished.
And this is just showing you how much the drivers in the league have improved since we started, because if that happened when we started, all the cars in that one wee area, there would be contacting somebody off or somebody spinning, but to do it in these cars at the speeds they go round the corners and have no contact, what fantastic.
Absolutely. This is where we then get a message saying, so punted me off at that corner on the last lap. But anyway, well,
you don't see it.
No. The thing is, what I will say is, okay, couple of things here actually. At the moment of us recording commentary, I have not been able to get together any footage for the G spot. Now, whether I manage to get to that done and we get to record something before this footage comes out, I won't know, but yet. At the moment, though, there isn't going to be a G-spot this week, so I haven't had the time. So everything that was left over from the previous G-spot request put in for whatever we see from this week is more than likely going to be onto next week's G-spot, but we'll see how we get on. But something tells me I'm going to be needing quite a bit of sleep over the next couple of days. Also, Ray is not going to be able to join me on commentary next week, I don't think. So I am going to need a co-commentator for next week, folks.
Yeah, get your auditions in. Come on, we have high standards here. You say that, right? Talking about high standards. I went looking for sofas this morning, and I saw a sofa that was really nice, and the salesman comes up to me and says, "This sofa will seat 5 people without any problems." I turned around to him and looked at him. I don't fucking know 5 people that ain't got problems. Yes.
Okay, now after we've bigged up the drivers as much as we have, potentially that could all come crashing down, Ray, at the next race.
Yeah, that could all come crashing down in the next race. What a race it's going to be. We're going to Spa. 4.35 miles long, yeah. Sorry, 20 corners.
Yep.
and tyre damage is going to be yellow. So it's not going to be as bad as Fuji or where Suzuka have been. There is one kind of big, two kind of big breaking points. There were Lacombs and what's the other one I'm looking for? The final hairpin. But there is some fast corners as well. So not quite green, it's yellow. So there will be tyre damage, but not as much as the way it's been going the past couple of races.
It's an interesting one though, because the length of the track it's a much longer track, so we're going to get less laps there. So the amount of wear per lap a driver may feel they get might seem like more, but that's only because a lap is 2 miles longer than what we've been doing, 2 or 1 miles. So their wear per lap may be higher, but their wear per miles I don't think will be higher. But also, I mean, Spa's one of those tracks as well where you want to try and make sure you pit at the right time, because if you go a lap too long, it's a long lap on knackered tyres, isn't it?
Yeah, and you're going to lose places. You know, so I just can't wait for it. A Rouge, are we going to get, or a Rouge, whatever it is, are we going to get side-by-side action up there?
Well, I reckon we can from the practice or the couple of laps I know a few of the drivers did the other day. I do believe you can go up there side by side, flat out. So I think it's possible. We could also see some massive crashes there. But again, I mean, it's one of those tracks. I mean, are you overtaking to the first corner? Because if you do, you're probably going to get overtaken down the Camel Straight. Or do you go side by side through Eau Rouge? Because you may get overtaken down the Camel. I mean, if two cars are side by side out the first corner through Eau Rouge, if there's one car behind them, that car could gain 2 places fairly easily. I love the Spa circuit for the elevation, the corners, and for the action it can produce. It can also on occasion seem to... Did I? Alright. If I didn't cut out for anybody else, we're all good. But yeah, Spa's great. If it did cut out, yeah, Spa's great. It's great for the action that it can produce, even if it does get spread out on occasion. But
got a nice flow to it as well, hasn't it?
It really has. And this car, I mean, in the tracks that we've done so far in this car, Catalonia, it's great around there, although the final few corners at Spain are shocking. They should be changed, so it doesn't feel that nice for the car. The second race was Suzuka. The car feels great around there, but there is a lot of high risk or sort of high punishment corners there. So it kind of like always feels a little bit on edge. We've just done Fuji. The car's great round there, but also there's that last sector. It never feels nice in any car driving that last sector. This car at Spa is a whole different ballgame. This car loves Spa.
Yeah, no, I wonder who's going to be pooing it poo on.
Everybody. I mean, this. I mean, this is the thing again. I mean, we could have drivers that are really, really fast around Spa, perhaps do a bit too much damage to their tyres. But maybe faster, more pit stops is the way to go, because you can overtake at Spa. It's not easy to overtake in the middle sector, but you can overtake after Blanchimont. You can overtake down the Camel Straight. At Fuji, it can feel a lot more difficult to make overtakes, and I think that's one of the things that I really liked about today's race, where we did see overtakes being completed in other places than just the main straight. But for the most part, overtakes completed fairly.
Yeah.
Yeah, wow. I'm absolutely exhausted. What a race. Yeah, I don't know if there's anything else we really need to discuss about Spa or not.
No, we don't have any fuzz zones. So
No,
no.
that is true.
But were you questioning me like that? I start to wonder, is there something I was supposed to say?
No. One thing I will say is, this is race 3. Hopefully, within the next couple of races, we will be able to advise the drivers of what is going to be happening after the end of this championship. GT7 has just done an update, but don't worry, folks, the game is still not ready for to be moved over to for league seasons. So still don't panic about that at the moment. I just want to quickly ask you, Ray, have you heard of Murphy's Law?
Yes.
So, you know what it is, like the one where if something can go wrong, it will go wrong?
Oh, I thought you were talking about a TV programme.
Oh, no. I'm talking more about, like, like Sod's Law. So, like, Murphy's Law is like, so it's like, it's the same for if something can go wrong, it will go wrong. That's Murphy's Law. But I was wondering if you'd heard of Cole's Law.
Yeah, I put it on my baked potato sometimes with beans.
It's great on salad. Fair play, touche. Or should that be Maris Piper potato? Okay, so I think on that we shall get ready to have a look at the confederation result and the championship standings. Ray, thank you very much for joining us on commentary.
And no worries, I'll catch you when I get back.
Aye. For anyone that wants to know, Ray is going on a I was so gonna say like a Gimp Masks Anonymous sex cruise, but it's not that exciting. No, so yeah, Ray's gonna be away for a little while, but it's nothing too drastic, just moving house. So yeah, good luck with that.
I'll still be watching a wee bit. I just can't.
Won't be able to get online.
Online. The only thing I'll be able to get online with is my phone. So yeah.
And that's usually only got 1% battery.
It's actually got 10% remaining.
I thought he was going to say 2. Got 50% more on 2. But yeah, so.
I'm moving house, so by the time hopefully get internet sorted quickly. I'm sure I did it quickly at this place, so hopefully I get it quickly and get back as soon as.
Okay. Well, good luck with that.
I'll let Art Pal and Jason have my points.
Yeah. Although Jason's been scoring decent points at the moment. Okay, so thank you, good luck, and let's check out the confirmed race results and the championship standings. Demon R then taking the victory in the maximum 20 points. Jason finished in second place. Unfortunately, though, does get a minus 3-point penalty. I'll touch on that in a moment. Steve F1 finished in third, 15 points for him. Conrad in fourth. Art Pal finished in fifth. Good result there. SGP just managed to hold on to sixth place with Jimmy right behind him in seventh. Hay did manage to steal a couple of positions just before the line, so eighth place for him. David Hart finished in ninth with Rich Blues in 10th. Formerly Gary in 11th, SRI in 12th, and then Bunsell in 13th. Okay, Jason's penalty information is on the Stewards Report on the DGT League Facebook page. I can't do a G-Spot this week, so I can't show exactly what's happened on this week's G-Spot because there won't be one. I haven't got the time to get one together, unfortunately. But it's a very unlucky situation, but did result in what has been seen as an unfair overtake. Nothing that Jason has done maliciously or anything like that, so it's just a bit of an unfortunate situation, but yeah, so information of that is on the DGT League Facebook page. Okay, so let's then have a look at what that result has done to the championship standings. Demon R then leading the way with a maximum 60 points, and Steve F1 holds on to second place just on 47, 13 behind. Jason would have been ahead of Steve F1, unfortunately with that little penalty, it does mean he drops to third on 46 points. SGP in fourth on 37 with Art Powell. His good result has helped him there, 33 points for him. He's now got a 6-point gap over Jimmy in sixth, who's making a nosebleed up there if he's not careful. Dave the Harp and Conrad tied 7th place, both on 25 points. Good results. Well, good result for Conrad there, tough one for Dave the Harp. 9th place, Rich Blues doing well at the moment, 21 points for him, and he is 2 ahead of Hay in 10th place. SRI's in 11th on 16 points. He's a couple ahead of Formula Gary in 12th, who's 3 ahead of Bunsell in 13th. Twilight, having not able to race the last 2 races, drops to 14th on 6 points, and Fluffy and Mitch still on 0, tied in 15th place. Well, it's been a fantastic championship so far. 3 races down, and the next, as we mentioned earlier in the video, is going to be from Spa. Hopefully, if Demon R has been able to do a bit of a lap guide video, that might be available for people to check out if they're struggling a little bit around that long circuit that can be quite technical, although it seems very simple. A quick reminder as well that merch is available. Check out the link in the description. Custom items are also available. All you need to do is let us know what you may want, and we'll see what we can do for you. Yeah, other than that, yeah, no G-Spot this week, although I will try and see if I can get something done over the next week or 2. It's just very busy in the personal life at the moment. So I will do everything I can to get those videos out there, because I do think that they are very, very helpful for people, and there are a few things that people have requested for us to have a look into. Okay, have a good one, everybody. Thanks for watching and listening. Hit the like, subscribe, share, you know the drill, and yeah, we'll see you all again soon.